Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about the downfall of Preston 99 and is it dead? Can it be revived? And why did it die? And is it Preston's fault? Now, Preston has been making Roblox games for about 10 years now, and the first Preston 1, when it was released, blew up. All his games before Preston 1, some of them did decent, but none of them did as good as Pet Simulator 1. When he released that game, that's when his career started. That's when everything started. And now you have Pet Sim 2, which was a flop. Then Pet Sim X, which is his best game yet. And now Pet Sim 99, which some would say is dead. Now, as much as I like Pet Sim, this video is just to go over about how Preston killed his game. One major issue is the sheer number of huge pets in the game. There are hundreds of huge pets, maybe even 1,000, and most of those huge pets have like 100,000 of them that exist. Some huges are worth little as 10 million gems. Like back in Pet Sim X, getting a huge was actually exciting. Even when Titanics were released, at first getting a huge was exciting. But now when you get a huge, nobody really cares. I mean, you hatch a huge, sometimes you're hyped for about 10 seconds, sometimes you don't care at all. I mean, most players have a huge now, if not all players. And some have literally thousands of huges, which is just insane. So I think because they have so many huge pets, that kind of ruined the game. So many huge pets being bumped into the game. Some of them are still rare, but even when you get them, you just don't care. Now, same thing with Titanics. When Titanics were first released, it was an amazing idea, really good for the game. But then they started making Titanic plushies every single week, and now there's about 100 Titanics in the game. Preston said it himself. He wanted Titanics to be super rare, but most Titanics have about 1,000 that exist. And because there's about 100 Titanics in the game, that is literally about 100,000 Titanics. Sure, Titanics are rare for most players, but a lot of players still have Titanics, so they're not as rare as they wanted to be. Then they added flyable Titanics, which were cool, but after about 2 months, the idea of flyable Titanics just wasn't there anymore. So the amount of huge pets and Titanics in the game just don't really make it as fun anymore. Like when you hatch a huge, you don't really care. Sure, when you hatch a Titanic, that's cool, but imagine hatching a Titanic 2 years ago. How hyped that would be. Now if you hatch a Titanic, I mean, that's cool. You're one step closer to a Gargantuan. It's a cool pet, but there's just too many of them, and I think the point of them were to be really rare pets that only few people would have, and they were really hard to obtain, but they did ruin that. Now, with Gargantuans being added about 6 months ago, Preston said he wanted Gargantuans to be what Titanics were meant to be, and he did that quite well. He said he wants Gargantuans to be really rare, and he said there'll be no plushies on Gargantuans, and he will not ruin Gargantuan's value. He said they're gonna always have around 200, 300 that exist, sometimes like 50, and he wants Gargantuans to be what Titanics used to be, which is really good. I think with Gargantuans, that was a good call there. That was a good one. Now, because there are so many huges, and especially in the Easter event, you could literally get a free huge by not even hatching eggs, just standing still. You would get a huge if there were over 500,000 people playing the game. That is how easy it was to get a huge. Like, everybody has a huge now. If you still don't have a huge, that's because you're not trying. And because huges are so easy now, if one huge is really easy to get, every single huge goes down in value. Now huge pets are just worth nothing. Titanics, on the other hand, went up quite a lot. But the thing is, the value of gems is just also not as what it used to be. every single Titanic went up a couple bill whilst Huges went down. So now if you're about to try trade for your first Titanic and you only have huge pets, you're probably going to need to now double your inventory. And yeah, I mean, this is just bad. That's another big reason why Pet Sim 99 is dying, if not dead. It's because values. Values was a big part of the game. Everybody liked values. Trading was fun, especially back in Pet Sim X. Pet Sim X trading was peak, but now trading is just... The only way to trade now is if you're rich, so it's really hard to start off trading. So yeah, that covers up the trade, and I feel like they ruined the trading mechanic of the game. Sure, you can still trade, but it's not as good. And this one is the main one. Lack of new content and features. Every single update was an event after event after an event. Now finally this update, they broke their like a 1 millionth streak of just doing events. And they finally did a new world, World 4, which is, that's good. I haven't played Pet Sim in about 2 months, and this update is the first update I've came back to. And that's why I'm making this video. But every single update is the same. You've got event part 2, and sometimes event part 3. And then the next update is the same event, but they just use different models, rinse and repeat over and over again. It got so boring, and this is actually another main reason why Huges got so easy. Every single update, 10 new Huges. Some of them would have 1 million each that exist of them. Bam, Huges just went down again. Halved in value again. The events got so boring that it really killed the game. And the events would be fun if they were fresh and engaging. Instead of just AFK Simulator, combine these pets, make it huge. Or just anything like that. The Squid Game event, if they do more stuff like that, that was actually fun. That was a fun update. That was one of the last best updates. They need to do more fresh and engaging gameplay instead of just repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing over and over again. Now, is this Preston's fault? Well, yeah. I mean, it is his fault that he kept on adding a bunch of Titanics, but at least he added Gargantrums, which was a good move. It is also his fault that updates are getting boring and boring and boring. And now I think one of the biggest, if not the biggest, coming right close to the lack of new content is the pay to win. This is the last thing we're going to cover. The amount of pay to win is crazy. There are so many game passes. Now if a new update comes out, you either spend 10 hours grinding for a huge, or you can spend 10 minutes of spending Robux for a Titanic. That is how ridiculous it is now. And also, eggs used to cost 400 Robux. Now they're only 120 Robux. And each egg, if you were to sell it, you could get 9 huges. So from just one single buy, you can get 9 huges. But if you have no Robux, it will take days to get 9 huges. Whilst pay-to-win players can literally get about 100 huges in an hour. The game is too pay-to-win. The Forever Pack is so pay-to-win. They added Gargantrums in the Forever Pack, which just made it way too pay-to-win. And then they added a literal pay-to-win only raffle. You spend Robux in the Forever Pack, you get raffles, and then you gamble for more pay-to-win stuff. The game got so pay-to-win that if you're free to play, the game just is not fun. The game is just not fun anymore if you don't have Robux. Now that will be everything to say. So overall, I don't really think the game is dead, but I think it is very close to dead. And if Preston doesn't do anything soon, his game will be dead, I would say in the next 2 months. Now I want you guys to comment down your feedback. I want to see what you guys, say about this. And also, if you like the video, please subscribe, like, and share. It really means a lot. I'm trying to revive the channel. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.